Every year, millions of Americans, broken and cast aside by society, make the hard decision to begin their journey down the path to a better life. For many in the North Texas area, this is where their trails end.
Really, if you had looked at my life going into jail, I wasn't lovable. In the eyes of most people, I was a liar, I was a cheater, I was a thief. And when I called Freedom House, they took me in, and none of that mattered.
18 years ago, Jared and Karen Adams began to bring the homeless into their home to provide structure, support, and opportunity through a discipleship program. As their program grew, so did the need for space, and eventually the Freedom House was forced to move. In their time of need, the Denton Bible Church sold this 17-acre property to the Adams family for a single $10 bill. Since that day, the Denton Freedom House has taken in and changed the lives of thousands of men, from those who have served time to those struggling with addiction and everyone in between.
So our mission, really for Denton Freedom House as a whole, is to liberate the broken from their bondage of sin and addiction by the transforming power of the gospel of Jesus Christ, and then to equip them to become prosperous disciples of Christ with kingdom vision, purpose, and direction.
Within the last 2 years, leadership opened a women's home at an undisclosed location so that women who flee abusive situations may receive Freedom House services in a safe, secure home. The Freedom House Discipleship Program has 2 6-month-long phases, the first of which focuses on breaking old habits, relearning vital skills and responsibilities, and growing as a Christian.
These are baptisms. Anytime you see pictures of this trough, a lot of the baptisms are out of the horse trough. We do it here on the property. Families, people are restored to their families, and we like to show that. I'm not up there, but I probably should. I got a mugshot, but I don't have it here.
You gotta get it up there, bro. Before and after.
While in Phase 1, the men live on the property in a dorm hall, 5 to a room, and adhere to a strict schedule of class, church, community, and work.
Every room is 12 rooms, and every room is named after one of the 12 tribes of Israel. We assign tribe leaders, and they sleep at the bottom bunk right there. It's like, these are the men that are in the home, the names. So right now we have 22 Phase 1.
For the first 45 days, many of the men work in the kitchen, spending time getting to know one another while cooking meals for the whole Freedom House. After the 45th day passes, however, they take their first steps back into society.
I get to watch a lot of men like myself get to interact and give testimony and provide a service to the community that most pretty much they would have probably used or abused before they came into the home.
In 2009, the Freedom House created Zara Coffee to give the men in the program a chance to put what they're learning to practice while giving back to the Denton community. The business took off immediately. Today, Zara is Denton's most popular spot for Christian students and community members to gather, and every Sunday morning, the Denton Freedom Church meets here for worship and service.
We're here to serve the community and provide a service to them, not only through serving coffee, but through showering love that God calls us to give forth to one another. And that's what we desire for the whole community to feel.
But making great coffee isn't the only thing these men and women do. They also work here at the Freedom Food Pantry, distributing food to those in need and helping tackle hunger right here in Denton. In July of 2019, a local ministry approached the Freedom House leadership team and asked them to take over the Shepherd's Hand Food Pantry. Otherwise, the pantry would be forced to close in 2 days' time. After much prayer and discussion, and despite the short notice, the Freedom House agreed to take over the pantry.
It's a blessing. We do giving our time for this mission and be able to help so many people is a blessing. Yeah.
While the pantry relies on local stores and restaurants to donate enough food to distribute out, the men and women from the Discipleship programs are the ones who oversee its day-to-day operations. Just like with Zara Coffee, working at the food pantry helps the men and women grow and prepare for life after the Freedom House.
It's hard learning to trust again. It's hard wanting reconciliation and even getting it because you don't feel like you're worth it. But it happens. And it's really hard when you've spent your life running and hiding and dodging to truly stand up and hold your head high because you think like nothing's changed. But in your heart, you know it's changed. You learn how to stop thinking about yourself and start thinking about other people.
What started as one couple and their home blossomed into a special community that has touched countless lives. Guided by faith and forgiven hearts, leadership at the Denton Freedom House hopes to someday expand to every major city in the country, with open arms and a Bible by their side.